Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Zoom here, where we're going to be mastering all types of things within futures trading. So we're going to be going over risk management, our breakdown market structure, trade setups. And so you guys can be a pro in the markets, trade with consistency and confidence. Alrighty, let me go ahead and share my screen. So whether if you guys are a beginner trader, my goal is to help you guys navigate the futures market with clarity, again, and precision. So let's go ahead and set up our trades here for the New York Open. If you guys are ready, guys, press some hearts in the chat, like the video. Let's go ahead and get started trading ES. Who's with me today? Let's see. Let me grab a pen. We got our charts here. We're going to just hop into the markets today. I don't really have any of our, trading psychology to go over today. We're just going to hop straight into the markets. Today is Wednesday, July the 16th. I don't want to miss any moves for the New York Open. So let's go over our checklist. We'll be getting into a good headspace. We'll read our trading mantras. Then we'll go and look at our news. Then we'll hop onto the charts. We'll do a top down. We'll mark up our charts, do a top down so that we're able to do a top down analysis. That will allow us to gather the overall trend, market cycle, what type of trade we're going to be getting into. And then we will set up our trades on the 15-minute time frames. Okay. So we usually trade, we're usually looking at ES here. So we're going to keep on with that. I don't know if next week you guys want to look at gold or Dow or Nasdaq. Let's see here. Okay, so let's begin our trading affirmations. I am becoming more intelligent every day. I'm a well-informed trader. I'm confident in my ability to make money in the market. I trust my analysis, and every trade is an opportunity for growth and learning. I understand the importance of proper risk management. I'm a disciplined trader making calm, rational decisions. My mind is focused, my decisions are precise, and success is my daily companion. I'm so happy and grateful that money comes to me from multiple sources on a consistent basis. All right, throw some loves in the chat if you guys feel that. Let's go ahead and if you have up your charts, throw some threes in the chats if you're ready to get started. Okay. Alrighty, so last week we went over key levels in the market, how to find key levels while you're trading, what they mean, why they're important, how to find them. So if you guys are still looking for more training, still want to figure out how to find your key levels in the markets, definitely go to our past live videos, check out that recording so that can become more clearer to you. Again, we use our pivotal zones. That's the indicator that I use to help me find those zones a lot clearer. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see here. Alrighty. Last week, I did drop the price fluctuations for ES. So right here, let's see if you guys can see this a little clearer. So this is Forex. Don't look at Forex. Don't look at indices. Don't look at gold. Look right in this little table here. So just for ES, I want to make that clear. So if you are in with one contract and ES moves 5 points, that's a $25 move either in your favor or against you there. 3 contracts, 5 points is a $75 move, and so on and so forth. So while you guys are making your trading plan, we love Top Step and their Top Step X platform. It makes it very easy when you place a trade there, especially when you have your bracket orders set up. You definitely already have kind of your risk management there set up. You already know how much you're risking. You already know, how much you would like to make out of that trade. So this just, helps you to decide how many contracts you feel safe going into a trade with. What's the momentum? Do we have a lot of volume? Is price really wicky, moving really fast there? So that can help you with your contracts. And then remember, you can always just put on one contract, and then once price moves in your favor, you can place on additional contracts. So right click on your screen. For instance, you can do one buy stop for you to be, for you to activate into the trade. And then once price continues in your favor, let's just say you want to add an additional 3 contracts. You can definitely do that. How we add more positions onto our trade are a little bit different than in Forex, but you can definitely do that. Okay, yes, good morning, everyone. Alrighty, so our strategy is pretty simple. We use the 10-20 EMA cross, and then we use a couple of different indicators to help us enter and exit the market. So our pivotal zones help us to spot support and resistance. Our moving averages help us to identify trend direction, and also, support and resistance levels. So we use our 10, our 20. Let me pull up. It's always a good, let's see here. What's going on with my charts? Alrighty, let's do a quick pause. Let me figure out what's going on with my charts here. You guys get to just look at my face. Listen, play some music or something. Give everyone a chance to get in. Okay. It's so strange. Let's see. You guys let me know what's moving. We got 6 people in here. That's what's up. Good morning, everyone. I'm just getting my charts together. My indicators weren't loading, so just making sure we can get these babies up really quickly here. Wait, this is so weird. Let's see. Alrighty. Did you guys check out Forex Factory? Let's see. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, I guess I just had to refresh. Let me share my screen again. Alrighty, how are we looking? Is everything nice and clear? Can you guys see my ES chart on the 4-hour time frame? If you can see my chart, throw some 3s in the chat. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Perfect. So we are straight. Alrighty, cool. So let's go ahead. All right, so you guys have your lot size. You guys understand exactly what we're using everything in our charts, on our charts for. Everything has a purpose, right? We know what we're using our different time frames for. So we use our 4 hour to help us assess the trend, the overall trend of that product. 1 hour we can use for like the momentum, the movement. I like to look at chart patterns. So on the 1 hour time frame. 30-minute, typically I use that for momentum. 15-minute time frame, kind of what price is currently doing, and my 5 and 1 minute time frame I use for my entry. Okay, so very simple strategy here. We just have 4 steps. And for our charts, chart markup. So remember, we mark up our charts first. We've kind of already done that on the 4 hour time frame. Let's try this baby one more time. There we go. Finally. So we mark up our charts on the 4 hour time frame. This is where we're trying to look for, the overall trend, if there's any psychological price points, those key levels. So we're looking for our key levels here on the 4 hour. And again, once you do that, you typically don't have to continue to mark up your charts. You just add. For instance, I would just right click on my 4 hour support, press my clone button, grab it, same thing. We're just looking for new highs, new lows, new price points. So remember, yes, last week, we had our pivotal zones shifted, and we had a R8 here at 6370. I'm sorry, an R7 at 6370 and an R8 at 6410. However, we've been hitting a lot of resistance here in the market. So the market has just been coming up to this 6340, 6330 kind of price here, and buyers are unable to take this higher. We have this support here at the 6250 kind of price range. So since July, Monday here, the 3rd, we've just been consolidating and bouncing all around between this price. We definitely need to see a break above or break below this point for us to kind of get back into that market, get back into a trending market. So right now on the 4 hour, we see that we are oversold, crossing up, meaning that we are buying a little bit here. Remember, this is the 4 hour. So if we want to take our fib from our low to our high, just to see what's the medium price that, the market could, buy up to. So we see our next price point at 6,300. Then if price continues to buy and move, break, make higher highs, we have additional points here. So you always want to know where you're going in the market, where you have the potential to go, just look at these as, I don't know if they even have these anymore, but back in the day, when I was growing up, be like, if you're going on a road trip, be like, okay, if you stop at this exit, it's the world's biggest watermelon, or, something crazy like that. So just look at these price points as different stops that you can get off on your trip in the market. So again, the 50, which is 6,300, that's TP1 for a buy. It's also our 50, that's also an R5 level, so that there will be some resistance there. Our second TP is going to be over here at the 61.8 level, and so on and so forth. So you can even come up here to the R7 or the 786, see if price even pushes up to the 63.28 level. So it's going to be really key when price reaches, if it's able to push above. We said that before, we had some wick action here at 63.11. However, buyers were unable to push price above that point. So if we're seeing a lot of buying momentum and we see a break of structure and price continue to buy, then we have additional points in the market. I don't know why. I don't like these little blue lines here. Why are they blue? Why are they dots? I guess. Alrighty. So is everyone clear on the 4 hour? And this is really good if you're swing trading and looking for additional points in the market on the lower time frames. Does anyone have any questions into how we found these zones, why we're picking these levels? We have 4 potential TPs already set up in the first, how many minutes? That was 15 minutes here. Okay, so I'm going to put on a potential long position when I see price break this level to these potential TPs, so this first TP area. Of course, we need to go down to the lower time frames and see, what price point is going to be more likely for the market to hit next. Oh, goodness. Did we look at our news? Okay. Ooh. See? That's how crazy. I have my notes right here that tells us exactly what we need to be doing today. Our checklist. And that's why it's so important to have a list because, you'll get like me. We just zoomed straight into the market and was about to put a trade in, and didn't remember that we have core PPI coming out at 8:30 Eastern. So let me go right ahead and put my vertical line here just as a reminder. All right. Was anyone going to remind me that we had high impact news, or y'all was just going to let me go? Oh, Ty had it already in the charts for me. Love it, love it, love it. All right, cool. Okay. So we did our 4 hour time frame. We kind of did our chart markup. There wasn't really much to mark up. We just added a new high, a new low here. Let me go back. Sorry. We added a new area of support. Can adjust it as needed. A new 4 hour high. We are consolidating. So we can put our notes here. TP levels are set. Let's see. Can you guys see this? Oh, hold on, guys. I need to be sharing my entire screen. That's what it is. Here we go. Better. Okay, TP levels are set at major pivotal zones. Not major, at pivot levels. Okay, so we have that. We still have our, I'm still going to keep our TP1 and TP2s up here because once we do get a shift, if price does break above this price point, so price was able to get up here to 63.43. If price does break above that level, then most likely we'll have our pivotal zones shift back to, this being our R7 and our R8. So I like to keep that up just so that we have that information. Alrighty, perfect. So 1 hour. Let's go down to the 1 hour, see what's going on. Okay. So the 1 hour time frame, let's look at, it's still buying. We're kind of in our overbought area, but we haven't started crossing back down just yet. Let's zoom in here. I know I have these. Okay, hold on. Kind of want to move these out of the way. I want to have these lines here because so you guys have the price points marked. Wherever you see these blue, numbers there, that's our TP, numbers here. And I love that we're all on the same price point. We don't have to worry about who's with what broker, who's doing what. Let's just look here. But anyways, let's just look here at there we go, at the 1 hour time frame. Let's see if we see anything. Is anything sticking out to you guys? Drop it in the chat. So let me give you guys a couple minutes here. We don't want to be trading, once that PPI news comes out. So we'll kind of just look. I'll throw something in demo. We'll just practice momentum at that time. So, let me know. What are we seeing on the 1 hour? We had some highs, lows, a little bit of a gap here. Price made a lower high, new lower lows here, lower high. We then had a break. That's why I love our 6310. Our lines here, because price always comes right back to them. Okay, so we had that break in structure. Price made a higher high, still unable to break this major high here. So, we've had a little gap here. Price came back in and filled this gap. So again, just consolidating, bouncing from 62, from this kind of 62.50 area, kind of got up here to 63.50. I would just say, just to make it nice and even, a 100-point range there. What say you guys? See what our 30-minute is doing. We're in our overbought zone. We still have our pivotal levels, buying here. Our pivotal zones giving us some more buying momentum. Price kind of touched this S0 level here and just continued to break. This was a high. Break and make higher highs and higher lows. Let's continue to zoom in. Alrighty, so our 15-minute was really strong. We had a lot of support. I finally had that break of structure. Can you guys see the market patterns here? Making a higher high, higher low. Let's see if we'll continue to get this bounce up here to this level. So we're on the 15-minute. This is where we kind of set up our trades here. So we're on the 15-minute time frame. We're waiting for a break there, and we have our levels, our price points. Again, we're just in our practice accounts here. I'm going to put a break. Once price breaks here, I'm going to get in with 3 contracts for a buy. We see our wrinkle charts. Remember, we spoke about wrinkle charts, and how those, can help our trades. And we see that we have some nice green wrinkle blocks there. All right, just looking at some notes. Perfect. Okay. All right. So we have our wrinkle charts here on the 3-minute time frame. I have the 15-minute here. We have our DOM, depth of the market tool, just letting us know at what price point, all these different increments. Let me pause it so We don't move here. And in all of these different price increments, so the fluctuations are 25 cents increment here on ES or MES, excuse me. And so now you can see what the volume profile here is on the DOM. What do we mean by that? So as you can see, they call the ladder. Volume up here at these price points, very thin. Not too many orders up here at the 62.85 level, excuse me. However, once we kind of, come down here to our 62.75, look at all this volume here. Look at all these orders here, of course, demo synthetic stills, mimicking lifetime real market data there. So you get the gist. If you were in your live accounts, it would work the same way. So what does this tell you? What does this kind of tell you guys? If you were just looking, if you didn't know anything about trading and you were just looking at this depth of market tool and you saw where there was volume higher and lower, what would that tell you? Anybody? Entry points, Ty. Yeah, they could be entry points. Also, it tells us that there is more volume down here at this point. So price may not continue to buy because there are not too many orders here up at these price points. We see a lot of orders here towards the downside. So that might signify we're still oversold here. Let's look at our smaller time frames that we might have a little pullback to those order filled or not. Oh, I forgot where it's news. Pulling back in news. Alrighty, so our price is activated. Look at how our depth of market tool is moving. As it's moving in our favor, we can see how much we're risking here, how much we are set to gain. Let's see our price points here. So we'll take some off here at 63.05 and then again at 63.10. Alrighty, so overall tool, we'll do it a little bit less than that. So now, right now we're in with 3 contracts. Once price reaches my first take profit zone, I'm going to take off 2 contracts. Means I'm going to take profit at the 62, what did I say? 6303.75. So 63.0. Okay, so I'm going to put in a limit sell for 2 so that once price reaches this price point, take off 2 of my orders. Let's see here. So right here, once price is in profit, once my trade is in profit, $202.50. I'm going to take off 2 contracts there. So if I was in at 62.90, 2 contracts, my profit, I'm going to take off the profit equivalent at that price point. So we're still pushing here. We see our Brinko chart still giving us nice green blocks, telling us that we still have some buying momentum there. A couple points in profit. Just about pulling back a little bit here. We did get price to come up here to the 62.96 level, and we are just pushing higher and higher. Once price gets up here to the 63.10, then we can see how it's going to react to that market then. $62.96 is the high of the day here. So, if we break this high, then we'll continue to see some movement to the upside. It's a little bit weary at these points. Let's take a look at the smaller time frame. Let's see what the 5-minute is telling us. 5-minute is oversold. Is at its oversold point. Okay, but did you guys just see that pivotal shift? How cool. That's just telling us that we've had a break of structure. Price is going to continue to buy. 3-minute is saying the exact same thing, still having buying momentum. RSI, nice green candles here. Let's see what that 1-minute is saying. Is it struggling? Well, it's making higher highs. It's trying to continue to buy here, but remember what our Dom was telling us. So we'll see how price reacts when it comes up here again to the 62.98 level. We still have our wrinkle charts here pushing, giving us green, nice buying momentum. So with that being said, my wrinkle chart's giving buying momentum, price continuing to push forward. We have those points here. How do you feel in this trade? If you were in this trade in your live account or your XFA, even in your demo, we want to take good trades in our demo as well, right? Would you be moving your trade into profit? Would you be out of your trade? Or would you trust your wrinkle bars here, giving us some nice green volume? The pivotal shift on the 5-minute time frame, the fact that the higher time frame still giving us some buying momentum. How do you feel? What's the confidence level in this trade? Let's see. Let's make a poll. I like polls. Okay, so 40% of you guys said y'all do not trade. Hey, Maureen, the New York Open, 60% saying yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and try. Let's get some more sentiment and see between us here. How do we feel about this trade? Okay, so how are you guys feeling now that we've seen that price broke this previous high? Are you guys feeling good about this trade? Are you guys feeling like, I want to, because I'm seeing, all this buying momentum, wrinkle charts making me feel good. We're making higher highs. We have our cross here, price just continuing to buy. Or do you feel like you want to wait? Not really that comfortable trading at this time? Or do you feel like, let's move our stop into profit now? Fill out the poll. Let's see how we are feeling about our position. Let's go ahead and check our trading view. See what our, 15-minute. Still have 8 minutes on our 15-minute candle here. New 5-minute candle opened up 2 minutes ago, and it's just pushing higher, giving us some buying momentum here. Moving up to our next R6 pivotal zone, which is 62.98.75. Let's see. I know a lot of people don't use the 3-minute. I like it as like the middle ground there between the 1 and the 5-minute. We have flat bottom candle coming out. Guess we did pivot, we did key levels last week. Right now, we're just practicing our entry points, how we enter, exit the market, how we manage our trades in live time while it's moving. And then next week, I guess we will do our candlestick patterns there. Then the next week, put that into practice. So we'll learn a new topic, give it a chance to sink in. practice it and then move forward. Okay, so Kelly, hey boo, says she's waiting. It's at its 800 EMA on the 5-minute. Okay, let's look at this. And that's why I love trading together, because we do get to see what each other, I didn't even have all my multiple EMAs up. Okay, so let me remove this so we can see. Let me just do this. We'll take off our, okay. So it is at the 800 EMA. You know that can be a strong point of resistance here. Price can just use it as it's done in the past, kind of break above, and then continue to crash down. So we'll see. That's a smart reason to wait there, Kelly. We definitely want to see how this next 5-minute candle opens up. We have 53 seconds here to see if it's going to continue to push forward, move up here, or just waiting on it to close. It does have a flat bottom. And we'll go kind of, well, look, I thought it had a flat bottom on the 5-minute. But this little teeny wick, y'all see it? Oh, this still brings that line too. That's why I like this arrow. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe I need to take off my cross here. There we go. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, so new 5-minute candle has come in. We want to make sure that it doesn't reach below this 62.93 point. Let's see what this bad boy is going to do. See what our wrinkle charts are telling us while we wait for that to give us, okay. Well, we have a trade in profit, $82, $86 in profit. I'd like to move this trade to break even. We never want to be in the green. And then even if price does pull back to this point, might even want to take a little bit more off the table there. So if price breaks below, let's be realistic here. If price breaks below this price point, I want to be out of this trade, because then the market may now just pull back, come down here, fill up this engulfing candle, and I could just get back into the market at this point. But all my hard work here, and at least, make sure I get $50 out of this trade. It is $82 in profit, still moving forward. But that's how I would manage this trade if I had got in at this crazy entry point here. Well, it wasn't crazy. It was a break. Got in at a break there when price made higher highs. See what the 1-minute is saying. Okay, so it's touching this kind of 50 EMA. Ooh. See if it's just, I really just don't want to get kicked out of my trade. I like to trust my analysis. So even though I want to move my trade into profit, if you had $50, you would have got stopped out there. I kind of just want to move it and see if it's just going to touch this 20 EMA and continue to move forward. If not, knocked out in profit, couple dollars there. You see how my 1-minute, it was over, it's coming down here to our oversold zone, but it looks like it's trying to push up a little bit. So I didn't want to get stopped out. So there's always that kind of fine line between, do I want to get stopped out if you think your trade is really going into, just pulling back a little bit, and going into, continuing to your destination. Or if you're like, hold on, I just want to get out. If I just had 5 trades that went $50 in profit, I'm good for the day. I don't have to wait for it to reach the ultimate TP level. What type of trader are you guys? Do y'all move your stop as soon as it gets into profit, or what? Are we waiting it out? We're trusting our analysis. Now I feel more comfortable moving my trade to 50. Now, if it comes back, as we can see, look at our RSI, kind of coming down to this level, looking like it wants to push up a little bit. We had this just touching our 50 EMA. We know that that can be kind of an entry point there. Once we see price kind of breaking above this 62.98 level, that's when I would feel, really confident that price is continuing to move into my predicted direction. Still nice green Renko bars here. As we can see, another candle is trying to form, another bar, is trying to form here, because we're seeing prices trying to break above this previous high. Definitely don't want to get stopped out, but want to make sure that I give my trade enough room to move, while simultaneously protecting my trade. So we got a lot going on. Trading takes a lot of brain power. We're doing so much at once in this task, in this one little task here. I'm talking to y'all, marking up your charts. You're looking at different time frames. And within those different time frames, you're analyzing 3 different indicators to see what is the market telling you. So there's a lot going on, but that's why I like for us to always go over at the very beginning of class what we're using each indicator for, just as a reminder to our brains, because we know, right? Just to our brains, so that we can kind of stay focused while we are trading. Alrighty, how's everyone feeling? Let's see. Kelly, how are you feeling? This next candle kind of looks like it may be, just bar coding, just sideways movement, like we saw here, until it, might break down or to the upside. So that's how it would look in a downtrend. See if we're having the same pattern here. So let me outline this. Let's see patterns in the market. So look at these candlestick patterns in this area, basically how you just had those 5-minute candles opening and closing in the same price point before one just either broke to the downside. Okay, so let's just see if the market is going to do this is what, Kelly, is this what you're saying? You're waiting to see if the market is going to, react kind of in this kind of fashion here at this 5-minute, because it was here by the 800. I taught you patience. It pays, right? Especially, my thing was with the patience, I'm like, okay, I can be patient, cool, but what am I being patient for? So it's like, just wait. That's what people say, just wait. And it's like, wait for what? And so once I figured out, okay, I'm waiting for, I guess, duh. Once it's like, duh, we're waiting for a break to the upside or the downside, but nobody said that to me. So I didn't know what the heck I was waiting for. So now, it started clocking to me. And it's like, okay, I'm just waiting for that break out of that zone. I want to wait to be patient to see price not to get in at these areas. And so that, now that I know what I'm waiting for, I could be cool. I could be patient, but before I'm like, waiting for what? Waiting for the market to make a big move, but I want to be, kind of move what? Move to the upside, move to the downside. So this helps me out. I love that. I love finding an area and then waiting for that break in or out, out of that zone for me and that confirms a couple different things. It confirms, the market trend. It confirms like key levels in the market. Okay, so I know that this price point here is 63.10, where I'm taking this trade to as well. That's a major level in the market. So within these zones, there it tells us so much, so much, so much, so much. Alrighty, perfect. So we have our wrinkle charts. We've been learning our scalping strategy. We are in a winning trade position here. We've covered our risk management, like how to move our stop into profit. We went over our emotions within the trade, saw how we were feeling. Let's see here. What did y'all say? Let's end this poll. I guess you guys are, not you guys, but I guess on YouTube, it is better to get, poll action than typing. No, y'all are at work. Okay, so 65% say we are waiting to get out. Others are saying we're going to move their stop into profit. No one says that they're in. Dang, but you guys would have been in profit. Okay, so I like to see that we are crossing up. This is, of course, on the 1 minute from the oversold zone. Let's go ahead and put our trade position back on. We were in this long here. Make sure and get the correct 62.90 for 3 positions. So we got in right here once we saw price breaking, making that higher high. We're just risking a couple points here, and we're looking to take our trade up just for 20 points to 63.10. Kelly, see, and she knows exactly what she's looking for. Once her 5-minute candle breaks above this area here, that's when she's going to get into the trade. We got into the trade once we saw we had our bracket orders placed. We were looking to see if price is going to make this break above this high, or if it was going to go into a sell because we had a lot of volume towards the downside. The volume from the news, from our core PPI news that came out at 8:30, gave us a big, huge lot of volume to the upside. So price broke above there. We were activated. We have our sell, our stop loss here below these couple of candles, because of course, if price now could start to make lower lows, we don't want to be in a buy. We have our trade set up, different take profit points. Believe we captured those from the 15-minute time frame. We have our other take profit points for the week based on our 4-hour. So we have a lot of information here. We've already hit TP1, so 6,300, which was our 50. Remember that 50 retracement? So the market has already retraced from this high to this low. We've got to be careful. It's at the 50. So I use the wick here. If you use your candles, use your candles. If you use your wicks, always use your wicks. So for my fibs, I just use wicks represent price to me. So I take the highest price, the lowest price here, high and low. And now we see that price has broken above, just making higher highs. It's reaching this 50. We'll see if it goes to the 61.8. That's our TP2. And again, if it continues to buy, what are we doing? We're looking at the market. I mean, if you set your trade, if all you need is 20 points, that's your goal for the day. Move your stop into profit, go on about your day. You already have, where you're going to take your profit out of your trades, take some profit out once it gets take some profit off of the table once it gets to a certain price point. Okay, I'm getting excited. Everything's set up. So if you wanted to, you know, once price gets to closer to 63.08, you add an alert so that you know and make sure with these alerts, you guys, if you have the alert of the app on your phone, you have to make sure that you go into these settings and manage your notifications and make sure that it says notify an app. Then you want to make sure that you're not a D&D girl like me that always has everything silent, and go into your TradingView app and make sure that those notifications are turned on and not just some of my things. I just have no noise, just a banner, not even to alert me. So make sure that your settings for your alerts are correct across all platforms. Anywho, once you do that, if you just want to set it, you have your price. Again, we have our everything set up, trades in profit. We want to go do something with our life. We have our alert here. Once we see like this alert is activated, that's when we come back to the trade to see if our pivotal levels shifted. If they did, if we have a new price point, let's just say to 63.20 or 63.30, then we just move our stop point. We move our target. You're either out or you're in. But if you want to continue, I know some people are like, I don't like to use it a take profit point because the market could go against, it could keep, moving. I don't know, infinity. No, just put a price point. And if you think that you have to know what level you're going to be looking at if the market's going to continue to move forward. So set your alerts. Okay, you guys, it is 8:54. I'm not going to keep you guys all the way into the New York Open. We have our trade. We are $116 in profit. We've moved our stop into profit. Let's go ahead and get some money. Take some money off this table. 50. Let's see if it comes back up here to touch this wick. Definitely don't want to be in that trade. So, we're 50 points in profit here. Still buying, still pushing forward. Remember, this is just the 1 minute. Of course, kind of making sure, a lot of us are a little hesitant at this point, but if you're in profit, if you move your stop into profit, you really have nothing to lose. This is now a risk-free trade. So we're doing the same thing here. Let's see if it's gonna break out of our box here. What is the market planning to do? And we know what we're gonna do once we figure out what it's doing. Okay, you guys, we are all set up here. Let me just quickly go over gold. Let's take a look at gold before the New York Open happens. Let's just see what its structure is. Again, that's GC with future trading. Let's take a look here. And then we can look at YM or, the Dow US 30 really quickly. I'm not going to do a full top-down analysis, but let's just take a look. I'll go to this side. Okay, so I'm just marking where I see areas that need to be marked. That's why I like to stick with one pair because I know my patterns with ES. I haven't really been looking at YM. But it's all good. It's the same thing. Do a quick little markup on the 15-minute just so that I know kind of what's going on here. And now this was support that became resistance. Here we go. Okay, do you guys see what I just did? Just on the 15-minute, just if I'm just looking to see exactly what's going on, what type of trade I should get into. Let's just say you're with your friend's trading this, you're an ES trader, you're like, I don't catch FOMO, but I can help you analyze your pair according to my strategy. This is what we would do. Okay, so we see a couple things here. We see that price had been making lower lows and lower highs. It got up to this point. We had this, price kind of ranging here. One second. Okay, we saw that price was just kind of ranging, just, making higher highs, low, high, coming back to this low, coming back to this high, not making higher highs or any significant lower lows, just bouncing around from 33.30 to what? 33, around 33.40, let's just say. Finally, price broke out of this box, made higher highs. Let's just see it here. It had a break. It retested this area. Looks like it's going to continue to buy. Look at the 15-minute time frame. It looks like it's peaking up again. It's about to be it's about to be 9 a.m. coming into the New York Open. So we're about to have a lot of trades just coming through to the downside and the upside. Remember, from like overnight trading, from option orders that are coming in, a bunch of different things. So we want to be very careful here. But we've had a breakout. We had a break to the upside. So let's just see. If we took from this high to this low, we can do the same exact thing. Price is reaching this S0. Let's just see. We have a couple different points here. Do we think price is going to go all the way up if it's making lower lows? We can still put our price points there. We have an overall destination. If we're going to go all the way there, who knows? We can list our points. I know this looks a little crazy, but do you guys understand like what these TP areas mean? If we want to get into this trade first, we want to make sure that it breaks above these previous candles here. Well, this is the one, I'm sorry, this is the 1 hour. Wanted to see how this 1 hour candle was going to open. Let's see here. Alrighty. This is how the 1 hour, the 9 a.m. candle opened on gold. It's a green candle. However, this is where price closed at 33.42. This one, the 7 hour candle, price then opened at 33. So it was a little jump there. Right now, would you guys feel comfortable trading gold kind of while it's doing whatever this is? I want to see a nice strong break out of, this kind of consolidation here. I would like to get into, a trade here once it would break below, because it didn't break above, to confirm that entry. As you can see, price did break, and then we had a retest back up to that level, and then continued to break lower, retest back up to this area, and then a break. So, if you're trading gold, you might want to be a person that's just wanting to get a couple points out, not really holding, because what can we see? We see that, and this is the hourly time frame. Look at all these wicks and price kind of buying, selling, buying, selling, then finally a break after how many hours, and then coming back down. So it's a little tricky. if you're a gold trader, hats off to you. I don't even want to give any type of kind of analysis to this pair. It's because it is so crazy right now for me, for my eyeballs. I don't know, maybe y'all's eyeballs are seeing things clearly. Well, we have our price points here. We'll see, of course, if price breaks above here, if it's going to continue to go to these points. 60, next TP. Again, these are built off the 1 hour time frame, so take this with a grain of salt. But of course, if we have a break above 33.50, next price point we might be looking at is probably 33.60 or so. Yep, let's go ahead and look at the Dow. Let's look at YM futures. Let's look to see if we have any structure there and if we can some trades here. All righty, so YM. Jeez. I'm sorry, before we got there, did anyone have any questions about gold? You see, I got off that real quick. Don't tempt yourselves. Do not tempt yourselves. Okay, YM. Let's see here. Do I have any notes for YM today? No. Okay, so let's just go ahead. Let's see. Do you guys, this is the 4 hour. We had resistance here, support here. I guess we were looking at that at one point. Okay, and then what did price do? It broke above that resistance, continued to buy. Okay, remove this. Okay, let's just go ahead and just look at the basics. Price, we had a short term. Prices above our 800, our 200. Okay, we had this 1020 EMA cross again on the 4 hour. Now we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. Let's go ahead and put our fib from this low to this high here. I'm just pulling it across to see some potential pullback areas because now we see price making lower lows and lower highs here. So that's our indication that price may be pulling back. We can put up our fib here. We can label our 50-61.8 fib zone on the 4 hour. Want to make sure we notate that. Because remember, 4 hour, this is a higher time frame. May take a couple days to come to this area. All righty. So we noticed that price overall was in a buy trend, but it looks like currently we may be having some sort of pullback. Price may come back down here. Look at where this 50-61.8 zone is. We have our 800 EMA on the 1 hour. Let's look at what's going on the 1 hour time frame. So again, making higher highs. Let's trace it out. We had our highs here, high, lower low, lower high, because this was our high, kind of equal low here. We had a little bounce. Price made a higher high, but didn't go above this one, just, breaking this area. So a little bit of a pullback here. And then eventually had a little gap here, making a lower low. Price then pulled back. Sorry, I'm being nosy. Made a higher low. I'm sorry, a lower high, lower low. All righty. And now we're seeing, okay, so now that we've marked it all up, we see where this low is. We see where this high is on the 1 hour time frame. I want to notate that. Do y'all just be wanting me to just tell you guys entry points and exit points? Or do you guys like when we go ahead and, go through this together? My thing about that is I don't mind giving entry according to my analysis, but how I'm going to manage my trade is going to be totally different than you are. I rather show you guys a strategy so that you can get into trades on your own. You don't need class. And though I love having everyone here, you don't need me. You know the strategy. You know what to look for. Okay, good. We like going through it together. Okay, we're on the same page here. Perfect. Love it, love it, love it. Market up. Oh, hey, Charlotte. I didn't know you were here, my love. We need to find that Kenyan trader. Kenyan, what is it? Kenyan Tucker? He's pretty cool. Okay, so now we have our points here. We have our high, we have our low here. So resistance and support on the 1 hour time frame. See what our 15-minute is telling us. Alrighty, so 15 minutes still looks like it's, making higher highs. Looks like we might try to come up here to the 44,530 area. So again, I'm setting up a trade for this buy. Looks like price is continuing to buy. I want to wait for this break above here. Have my target point. And now let's perfect our entry. I want to wait till price kind of tells us it's ready to continue to buy so that we can get into something like that. Definitely not risking all of that. Alrighty, so on the 1 minute, price kind of came up to the R8 434, made lower lows. We had this, of course, is on the 1 minute time frame, so I'm a little hesitant. We don't like to get in. Looks like it's pulling back right now. Looks like it's selling down. We'll see if it sells down to this area. This is a decision zone. So it's touching this 200 EMA. We know that this can be kind of an entry for it to continue into that buy. However, if it breaks below this 44,373 area, then we know our next points are down here at the 44,336, our S0. So let's go ahead and create our box. Sometimes someone asks me, what time frame do I create my box on? And it all just depends on what time frame you're seeing that consolidation clearly on. So we didn't see kind of this box area as clear on the 5 minute and the other time frames. On the 1 minute looked pretty clear. Okay, so it's breaking below. So So if it breaks above, this is our kind of position tool here for this buy. Now, if it breaks below here, remember we have to be, and if it broke below, this is what you would be looking at. Once it gets to this point, that's maybe where you would then try to look for your buy, then back to that area. So you look at the market, the market's going to make highs and lows, see exactly first of all, what's the overall trend? Are we and so you look at your higher time frames, your 4 hour, your 1 hour. Then you go down to the 15 minute. You see, okay, am I placing a trade with the trend, or are we in a pullback? And I'm looking for counter trend trades. So you got to look to see what is the market currently doing? Then you can set up maybe you're seeing the market clearly and for sure you're going in with a sell. You don't need to make a box. The market is giving you clear structure. If that's the case, cool. You have your exit points, which are going to be based off of market structure, based off your highs and your lows. Again, if we were in this sell right here, we were waiting for this break and we were going to get in for a sell. we're going to place our stop loss above this high, not right at the high, a little bit above, because it could just come in wick, and bring us and go back into structure. So, you give it some space there, but you want to have those areas marked out. And then what? You take your profit, you place your take profit area at your next pivotal zone to either the downside or the upside. So we're patient, we're waiting. Tie, right around this time, we got 15 minutes to the New York Open. So sometimes market structure is a little wacky, so our day trading strategy kind of it's put on hold. We got to be patient here, but this is kind of what I would be looking at if I was trading YM. I want to see a break. If I have my break, I know what are my next TP points, my next destination, my take profit areas. If it breaks below this area, then I am in this sell. For this pullback, I'm looking for price then to pull back to my S0 kind of, or my 200 EMA. And then once it gets to this point, which was, as we can see, support, support, support. This is also going to be a previous level of support, kind of in this zone. So we want to see if price is going to come back here, kind of touch this area, use this as support and continue to buy. It may not even get to that area. It may just come down here to the S0, but they're just a couple points off. Once price gets to this area, that's when I'm going to wait to see when it's going to set up to go back into, a buy. Or if it's just going to continue to break. Remember, once the New York Open happens, we see what's being spoken about. We see, if there's any headline news coming out, we just follow market structure. How do you feel about that, Ty and Kelly? Sorry, my messy bun. Like, this is a true messy bun today. I'm always like, oh, God, I have to get on camera. And that's like I hate getting on camera, but I love trading. So I got to suck it up. Well, y'all be seeing me at my worst all the time. Hey, James. James, you kind of came in at the end, but we set up our trades for ES. We've set up Dow. We looked at gold. We weren't really too happy with gold. And I'm letting you guys go. You guys got 15 minutes until the New York Open. Our trade is already in profit with our S&P or ES, however you want to say. Alrighty, and we did go over our trading affirmations. We did our chart markup. We kind of did our top-down analysis as we were setting up our trades using our strategy on the 15-minute. We went over what we use our indicators for, so our pivotal zones, moving average. I didn't have any coffee, you guys. I was up late last night. I'm like, oh no. Ran down here to be with my crew. If you guys are in the Georgia area, Charlotte, if you're not too far from Stockbridge, if you're still in this area, I found a trading group. They meet in Stockbridge at a cafe. So y'all hit me up in the group. They meet every Tuesday. I think they're still doing Forex, but it's cool. I was still doing futures, just hanging out with some, trading friends there, eating. I was the only one, my big butt. They're like, oh, no, we're not that hungry. I'm like, what? Can I get a coffee? Can I get this? And the food was good. I go there a lot. So if y'all are in Georgia, hit me up so we can, hang out next week. What else did I have to say? What else? Oh, you just left there Sunday night? Dang. Oh, man. Okay, I think we're good. You guys don't forget, take a screenshot of this so that you have your price points here. Oh, dang, what did I do? So that just have your lot size key. Contracts, if you're going in 1 contract, 3 contracts, 5 contracts. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and manage this trade, and then you guys can get, okay, so still in profit here. Still have my trade. Still looking like it's buying, still having some buying momentum on our wrinkle charts. Our 5 minutes still just touching this 10 EMA. It's above all of that. So either way, in profit. If it goes into, I don't run it. I want to move it a little bit below. I don't want to get wicked out. I know how the market can get. Okay. We are good, you guys. Thank you all for joining me. Pass it on to your friends. Please like the channel, support, throw some hearts, throw some likes. Look at the recordings as well. Let me know what you guys want to learn about. I have no problem going over whatever topic you guys want to learn about. Next week, like I said, if you guys don't have another suggestion, we'll be going over candlestick patterns, and how they can relate. That's gonna, for a lot of you guys that like naked, charting, gonna really rely on your candlestick patterns and reading your ZOM, of course. But we can definitely go over that next week. So thank you guys for joining me. Happy trading. You guys let me know if you have any questions in our Telegram chat. Drop your charts and have a lovely trading day. Kill it in the markets, make those profits, and I will see you guys again next week.